Well, the soul of Nigeria is critical to all of us at this point as we are getting set to go straight to the pool 25th of next month. But the big question is, with the insecurity that we've been waking up to on a daily basis since last year and of course the previous years, and of course the attack on INEC's facilities, how sure are we that the over 93 point something million Nigerians that have actually indicated interest to participate in the 2023 election will have a free, fair election? It's a big question, but will need serious answers. Well, I have with me in the studio Comrade Kelvin Isesele. We'll be quickly looking at that together. Comrade, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning.
All right, let's quickly start. There was a big news yesterday that was making round that the election may not hold. Well, of course, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, now came to debunk that news that the elections will hold. What's your take? Let's quickly take your reactions on that.
I think the information was false from the social media platforms.
No, it came from INEC.
But INEC has also come out yesterday to say the election will hold as scheduled. So definitely, they are actually giving what I describe as precautions, that if insecurity continues like this, there might be shift in the election. But that doesn't mean that they have changed the timetable of the election. So it's as a result of mismanagement of information that make that circulations around Nigeria.
Okay, talking about mismanagement of information now. Let's now quickly look at the presidential candidates. We have over 16 of them on the ballots. But of course, to an extent, just few of them are having a fair play, if you ask me, or very few of them are having a kind of acceptance from Nigerians. Now, looking at all these presidential candidates, do you think we have any that can actually take the bull by the horn when he gets to power next year?
Yeah, I actually believe that this is a contest, and it's a presidential and national assembly election. I'm one of those who does not actually believe there is a good candidate until you win an election.
Okay.
There is always a difference in contesting an election and performance in government.
So there's difference between
contesting an election and performance in government.
Okay.
So I do not share the ideas or the belief that among those presidential candidates we have, anyone is good as at this moment. Until when you eventually win the election, then we will come back and analyze your performance. That should tell us whether you were good or not. But as it stands now, we're looking at who is capable of winning the election. I think that is basically what Nigerians should be talking about. Not this assumption that this one is bad, this one is good. You cannot presume someone to be bad or good when he has not assumed the office. It is when he or she win an election. You cannot assess his government and say, yes, we got it right. So preempting the outcome of the election, stroke the outcome of good governance, we will be getting it wrongly. So I think what is more important now is to concentrate on leading candidates that we think they can have the chances of winning the election. So when
you talk about leading candidates now, how many of these candidates are actually leading?
I think we have, to me personally, in my own view, we have 4 leading candidates.
Okay.
Which is Ahmed Bola Tinubu of the All Progressive Congress, Peter Obi of the Labour Party, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso of the NNPP, and of course Haji Atiku Abubakar of the PDP. In my own view, my own opinion, these are leading candidates who, peradventure, one of them will get the presidential election. So I also believe the chances of these 4 aspirants, in my own opinion, I think the All Progressive Congress candidate, the Tinubu, in quotes, to me, has a better chance to win this election.
Is it because of the endorsement of the Northern Governors Forum?
It is not actually the endorsement of the APC. It has to do with something of what I call strategic planning. Tinubu has been able to maneuver his way in that aspect. If you look at Tinubu, Atiku, Kwankwaso, and Peter Obi, these other theories, they are one in component. They are content of each other.
You have to expatiate that.
Who come together in 2019 and couldn't defeat the All Progressive Congress. Now they have gone in their separate ways. They are actually, let me call them branches of the PDP.
Okay.
Peter Obi is of the PDP. Rabi Musa Kwankwaso is of the PDP.
Was.
They are still. I will explain in detail.
You have to explain. So that will not get this twisted.
Article is of the PDP. We now also have the G5, also in the PDP. What happened is that Peter Obi has shifted his ground from the PDP
to the Labour Party.
Joined Labour Party. So he has automatically taken the Southeast zone away from PDP, which usually be the stronghold of the PDP since 1999 to date. Then Kwankwaso, in my own opinion, is just within the Northwest, mainly Kano State, which is also a PDP extraction. Because Kano has been APC, PDP, they have been rotating the state. Then, Atiku himself, in my opinion, he is not even in the race again because the G5 are doing wonders to the party. He himself is only relying on maybe betrayers who he believes the Northerners will betray the APC to vote for him.
At the long run.
At the long run. So if you are relying in that calculation, you want them to betray their own party for you to succeed. You should also understand that only the North cannot make you a presidential candidate. So therefore, those people you are trusting cannot also trust you. So you cannot rely on betrayers to win an election.
But in politics, there's this saying that you don't have permanent friends,
you don't have permanent enemies.
You only have permanent interests.
This is where the interest of the northern governors lies. First interest is most of them are senatorial candidates. Some of them are leaders of their party. Would they forsake that personal interest that they are enjoying for this to be an opposition? The answer is no. In Kano State, for example, the governor of Kano State is a senatorial candidate. His election and Tinubu election is on the same day. There will be no way he will want to jeopardize that victory.
The victory of the APC.
Of the APC for a PDP where he will now become automatic opposition. And they know what opposition is in Nigeria. Then Tinubu has the Southwest in his purse already.
Are you sure?
There is nothing you will go to do about it. Not I'm sure. That is how it is.
They just lost an election in Osun State.
It is Adeleke who won an election. It's not the PDP.
Okay.
When you come to presidential election, you will also feel the impact of Osun State. And there are traditional states in the north that are APC. Even when you bring a goat to contest under the platform of APC, these states are APC, which is an edge for Tinubu. One, Yobe State. In 1999 date, PDP or any other party has never won that state. Whoever APC bring or whoever Buhari party wins that state, Zamfara, Borno, and Kebbi. These four states are states that have traditionally Buhari and his party. Whether even if you bring them,
it's a call note.
I don't see it as a call note because they started with AFPP, who translate to CPC, now APC. They have never been PDP, which they believe anywhere Buhari goes, they go. And these are pathos that bring Buhari and Tinubu together. Just like the Southwest states, who are traditionally ADC, AC, ACN, now APC. So he already have about 11 states in his pocket. Undoubtedly, which will vote APC.
Talking about the presidential candidate of the APC now.
Yes.
Okay.
So these states are already on the bus of APC. Now, when you look at the Southeast and South-South, APC has never won this area before, since 1999 date. So it will interest you to know that Atiku and Obi will go and share the votes in those areas. Because APC doesn't even need those areas. to become president because they never won in 2015, they never won in 2019. I'm not sure they are going to win it in 2023. But the good thing is this: Peter Obi has been able to take about 7 from those states to himself of the Labour Party, especially the youth and the ordinary frustrated masses on the street, who felt PDP and APC have not lived to expectations. So they are picking tent with Peter Obi, which in my own opinion is advantage to the APC. So now,
in your opinion, those are actually aligning themselves with the obedient movement. They are Nigerians that are frustrated.
That are frustrated by the PDP
the past and present government. Okay.
And in this past and present government, there's what I call foundation. The PDP actually laid the bad foundation for this country in 16 years, which the Buhari government come and contributed little and couldn't meet up to expectations, which I believe is an individual capacity. It's an individual capacity. So, analyzing it generally, you will discover that the South-East and South-South are mainly obedient, which happens to be the stronghold of the PDP. And going to the North-Central, which is the Abujas, Kogis, and the rest of them, it's going to be a tough game for all presidential candidates. But in my opinion, there is no way the APC will lose Kogi State. And there is no way Labour Party will not win Plateau State, just. Okay? Article cannot actually say one state is going to win in the North Central. Maybe Abuja. Maybe. Because Abuja is even more learned. They will go in the obedience or the Jagabans. Those who will go for the Jagaban will be based on personal interest.
I have a concern, Kevin Cecily. Yeah. I need to pause you. From records, you have been with the PDP, and I'm very sure you're still with the PDP. And with this your analysis, I think it's an honest one. But don't you think if your party, the PDP, can put their house in order and get the 5G governors back on their part, victory to an extent will be sure for them?
Point of correction. I am not a PDP.
Okay.
I'm not a card carrying. I was just pathetic with PDP.
Okay.
I'm just like an apologist.
Just a passionate Nigerian
who have to choose a party,
okay,
which I will definitely support.
Okay.
So I'm not a PDP. I've never been a PDP.
Okay. Okay.
But I have always
Noted.
analyzed issues as it is. So in those days, have analyzed where PDP have their strengths and they won, and I've also analyzed where PC have their strengths and they won.
But from this year, from this permutation,
PDP cannot put their house in order. It's too late. So? Yeah, because interests have to play. Where to the extent, as you said, I know PDP to some extent. When you bring the Wike and other 5 governors, there will be no way you can merge them together. To ask you to resign is simple for the PDP to do, but they know they can never trust the Wike group, who will come, who by extension chairman. It happens in 2015. They asked Jonathan to remove who was the national chairman then. He went and bring a sample. You see what play that? So they cannot trust the people. They can't trust the G5. Hence, the issue should remain the way it is. By so doing, PDP is already on self-destruction by the actions and inactions of their Congress, which is the primary election. So, unfortunately, Obi seems to be a second runner of probably in this election. The obedient movement have done very, very well. They are good. They are in the race to make a point, not to win an election. So I align myself with them in that direction. At least Nigeria now have options, not just the 2 options. They now have a major viable 3 to 4 options.
Okay.
Going forward, whoever win election will have no choice than to perform because it is no longer the business as usual. So I think Tinubu will do that, and by the special grace of God, when he wins, because all indices is pointing at him to win an election.
Well, everything you're saying right now is just your personal
opinion. It's my opinion.
But our concern now is, to an extent, in the campaigns, as we begin to wrap up on this segment, we've seen to an extent the APC presidential candidate. Nigerians are yet to get something significant that they can hold on to. In his campaign train, to an extent, it has been tussle of words, exchange of words, sending shades to some of the presidential candidates, to a large extent, the PDP presidential candidates, and that of the Labour Party.
You know, in every contest, every candidate has his own strategy.
Okay.
You will not force anybody to adopt a system that you want. These are the strategies he has deployed. So it is the outcome of the election that will determine if the strategies works or not.
Okay.
He has chosen his own pattern.
Okay.
Other candidates are choosing their own pattern.
Okay, Kevin, let's quickly take a short break now, so that we can quickly take the next guest as we proceed on the show. Please don't go nowhere.
Okay.
TMI, every opinion counts.
Well, it has been a fantastic ride with Barrister Wizard. Right now, Kevin is back with us so that we can call it a wrap on what we actually started in the first line of the show. He was actually giving us a breakdown and analysis of the various presidential candidates and their chances of winning the election. Now, let's come back. We have about 93 point something million Nigerians that have actually indicated interest. About 9 million over the former record we have in the previous election. Now let's look at the chances of the Labour Party. According to you, you said they have the support of Nigerians that feels betrayed by this present administration and the previous administration. But do you see the tendency of this youth putting their weights together, looking at the NSAS movement that looks like a child's play, and to an extent it held the country to ransom? Don't you think to an extent we are going to see such play out?
You know, in Nigeria, sometimes we look at the analysis in one direction. When you talk about whatever that have played at the 2020 as a result of NSAS movement, you have a lot of people who are party faithful in that protest, which I can tell you, majority of them, some are in the PDP, Labour Party, and that of the APC. I can single-handedly tell you 10% of those who were on that movement, some are in APC even campaigning for them today. Okay, so we are in a situation where we don't have to judge elections by such activities. The Northern Extraction were not a participant of that movement, of which you are aware. And you cannot successfully become a president without having a base in all the 6 geopolitical zones. So election is totally different from a protest. This is election. For example, I participated in that protest because the police brutality was not good. But that doesn't mean that it was as a result of this present government failure. It was as a result of a faulty foundation that has been on even before democracy returns to Nigeria. Okay. So we have had this insecurity, we have these citizens feel insecure in their own nation. So it does not translate to vote. Votes, to my understanding, my opinion, are directed. Votes are directed. There are some certain area leaders decide who they vote for based on their past antecedents or their relationship with people. I have friends. I have people who believe in me, who does not actually know either Tinubu, Obi, or Atiku. But when I am able to preach to them that you don't worry, let's do it this way, as a result of you knowing me, I will be able to draw this person's attention to this place. That is how votes are being directed in Nigeria. A lot of people
In the past.
even in this present condition, we are still on it. But some people said in the past, I keep telling people, February 25th, you will still see there will be no minimal changes in the direction of votes. Just as I have said in my past, before the break came in, I'm giving you some states that whatever you do, this party cannot win. I've given you some states in the north that no matter what other party do, they can't win there. And I'm also coming back to the south. I mean, there are some states in the south today, no matter what APC do, they will not win it. So it's that versa. But fortunately, those who have majority of those states will skate through. I listened to the governor of Zamfara when he was leaving PDP to APC. He said one thing that got my attention in that speech. He said, and I quote, I got through government house in Zamfara, through the court, because APC were being disqualified from contesting that election. PDP as the second runner automatically take the position. But unfortunately, if he remains in PDP, he can never win his re-election. So therefore, he is going back to APC, which is the original party of the Zamfara people. And see how
APC is a stronghold
of the Zamfara, which he believes when he goes there, he will be able to merge forces with the APC and he will get re-elected. And he went to APC. There was by-election. They did a House of Rep by-election in 2 constituencies. APC won. Because these people don't even believe any of that aside APC. So there is nothing, even Obi, you will not have Obi doing anything in Zamfara State. He hasn't gone there, there's no movement there, there's nothing there. Likewise Kebbi, likewise Obi, likewise Borno. So that is same thing, but unfortunately for Obi, that he doesn't have this spread over there. This Tinubu and Atiku have the spread in a big base. In the southeast, for example, at least APC have big ones who, by extension, them and their family will vote APC. But maybe they will get the 25% required, but they will not win that particular thing. But Obi doesn't have these people in the area where he doesn't have strength to do this magic for him. In Edo State, for example, I do tell people, if there is a free and fair contest, Obi may likely win Edo because of maybe Edo Central and Edo South. But Edo North is strictly APC. There is nothing you can do about it because of the person of comedy that's Oshomole. There is no way APC will not win Edo North. So if APC has been able to manage to win Edo North, get little votes from Edo South and Edo Central, they will end up having 30 to 35%, which even the requirement is 25%.
Now you said in the forthcoming elections, nothing may really change. We might go back to the old order. Now, are you now saying to an extent vote buying is not going to be a thing of the past?
I don't see vote buying as a thing of the past because politicians will always deploy tactics to buy votes. It may not naturally be the usual sharing of funds on election day. These are why we talk of structures. For example, in my village, let's assume someone has a representative of PDP or APC. That representative will go to house and settle those who needed to settle. You will not be there. Camera will not be there. On the election day, they will just come to feed and do what they have been discussed few minutes to the election and back home.
So all the clamoring for change in the process of political process and all that is just...
It's just a shenanigans because the institutions are still weak to respond to this call. We have weak institutions to respond to these calls. When we talk of registered voters, as you are aware, INEC have said 90-something million. But in all honesty, even people are strongly to have their PVC. And most of these people strongly to have PVC today, they are merely obedient movements in the southern part of the country. At the end of this song, we got frustrated. Maybe you went there today, you went there tomorrow, you didn't get it.
You think they are being victimized?
No, not victimized. These are these institutions that have not been strengthened enough to deliver outside TV press conferences. We're supposed to have an institution whereby you type on your phone, your voter's card is ready, you just get there and pick it and go. These institutions are not strong enough to respond to the press conferences of those various institutions. For example, the security will tell you, oh, we have deployed 100 mobile policemen to so place. At the end of the day, these institutions are still not strong to respond to this call. What I do say, in my own opinion, immediately after 2023 election, I believe and I have the view that things will change. Whoever wins, we want to do things rightly because the Nigerians are gradually waking up. We are not finally awake yet, but we are waking. So whoever becomes president in 2023 going forward, we want to strengthen those institutions. We want to do something very reasonable that will earn him and his party vote in the future election. And I appreciate the obedience, which I believe has changed the political calculations of the country. Before now, we used to have two major rivals.
So
but today
they change the narrative.
They change the narrative to a major four ways. When you narrow it down in the south, you have three major contestants: Tinubu, Atiku, and Obi. When you narrow it to the north, you have three major contestants: Tinubu, Kwankwaso, and Atiku. So in that way you put it, Tinubu is being mentioned. Some people will tell you this election is between Tinubu and Obi. Some will tell you it's between Tinubu and Atiku. So that should give you a direction that one particular name is being mentioned in the south and in the north.
But there have been opinion polls to an extent where people lend their voice and their opinions on who they feel will be the next president of the country. And to an extent, the Labour Party presidential candidate have been getting a very, very good fare.
Yes. These people who do
so
opinion poll, I'm one of the people who vote in. For example, my wife voted in this opinion poll. He doesn't vote in Nigeria, he's a Ghanaian. But when we are talking on online poll, a lot of people vote. But it doesn't translate. The real voters doesn't even have internet. I just left village for mobilization 2 days ago. They don't even know what is called opinion online poll. These are the real voters. Where the block votes come.
So everything we are getting online is just...
It happens in 2019. Article was 90% ahead of Buhari. What happens on the field? Article lost his own word in 2019. His own word. He won his unit with 7 votes. But when there was an online poll, Article seems to have won Adamawa with a flat victory. But at the end of the day, when the election, in his own word, where he comes from, he lost it. Because the people are busy in the market selling onions and tomatoes. They don't have time coming internet to vote. But election day, people mobilize these people out to vote. I'm just being honest. A lot of people say, oh, maybe, no, I'm just being realistic with what have happened in the past. Let me give you an example. In 2019, there was House of Assembly election in my local government. I would want to mention his name. The PDP candidate, the APC candidate. Look at what happened. The PDP candidate was leading everywhere online. But when the election was done, he got 2 votes. In his own unit, where he voted.
Okay.
So votes are directed and mobilized.
Okay.
So the Labour Party doesn't have the strength to mobilize people to vote for them.
All right.
Thank
you so much, Comrade Cecily. We'll have this conversation again pretty soon so that we can actually have enough time to talk about it. But this is where we'll be drawing the curtain for TMI Thursday morning edition. Ijene Kumel said the Bame Daniel is my name. Ensure you get your PVC, all right, so that you can lend your voice to the changes and the narrative we're expecting. Well, up next is the sports segment with Solomon, and that is what we'll be wrapping up on the show this morning. Thank you so much.